Renaissance Union, all is well. And all is in divine order. Can we just say, I'm willing? I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm available. And I will participate in my transformation. Now I'll say this affirmation with power, conviction, and commitment. Repeat after me in the same vibrational level. I align my thoughts, my beliefs, and my actions with my higher self. I give my very best, wholeheartedly and without reservation. I am free from inner conviction, inner conflict, grounded in unity and strength. My inner house stands firm, a beacon of harmony and purpose. I am on track to my highest self, living authentically and fulfilling my divine potential. You need to look at somebody and say, you don't know how powerful I am. You may be seated. Your very best, the very best that you have to offer. Give me your very best. My mother used to say, do your very best. And if you give me your very best, that's all you can do. But then after the test happened, the question was always, did you prepare for the test? So when the test came, did you give your very best? The question this morning is, have we seen the very best of us? Have we seen the very best of us, ourselves? And the answer is no way. Not possible. Because as we travel through this journey called life, we're constantly accumulating knowledge, skills, wisdom. And because of that, we can never be at our very best. But we can begin to move and slip down the other side of the mountain. There are so many distractions that can take us away from focusing on being our very, very best every waking moment. We all have good intentions, right? We want to experience the very best. We want to have the very best. We want to do our very best, but something seems to get in the way. Seems like every time something seems to get in the way. Can anybody relate to me? I set out every morning trying to do my very best. I'm going to evolve into my very best self, but something seems to get in the way. Some distraction distracts me away from the thing that I'm trying to attract. Can anybody relate to that? Something. Matthew 12:25 says something that I think is very important as we talk about the things that distract us away from the things that we want to attract. It says, a house divided against itself cannot stand. A house divided against itself cannot stand. What is against? If something is against me, it's not for me. Remember the word is, if God is for you, who can be against you? And it doesn't matter. But what is a house? A house is not a home. Remember Luther Vandross? A house is not a home. When no one's there. But it's true. You can have a house, a home, but if you're not there, a house is not a home. And so a house divided against itself is what? What is the house? We need to understand the house. The house is our inner being, right? Our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions, our spiritual space in the moment, right? This is not about the accumulation of things because we pile up things inside of us, don't we? Yeah, we're hoarders. Point to somebody and say, I know you're a hoarder. I know you're a hoarder. We all are, Michael. You're right. We're hoarders. I got some stuff inside of me that should have been thrown away years ago. And it just seemed to hang on to me. A house divided against itself cannot stand. The house represents our inner thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, space and time. Now, what is that division? The inner conflicts, right? The contrasting things that confuse us, distort us, contradict who we want to be, what we want to see, what we want to have, right? Think about this. Inconsistencies within ourselves has our house divided. Think about it, right? I'm conflicted. Anybody in here living a conflicted life? Raise your hand. Everybody is. I can pick out any area of our life, and at some point, you're going to raise your hand. Oh, there it is. It could be that I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm conflicted because I'm at the gas station, I'm pumping gas, and all of a sudden I see Pringles. Good God Almighty, I love Pringles. And a root beer. God Almighty, I need to run in there while the gas is still pumping and get those Pringles and a root beer. It's calling me. But I want to lose weight. Conflicted. I want to build a nice nest egg, but I'm addicted to shopping. I see a shoe. I see a dress. It looks good on me. Look at him. He's telling on his wife. This ain't the place for that. I ain't trying to break up relationships. But think about it. I want the better opportunities. I want the better job, but I don't want to do the work. You know, conflicted. We all live conflicted lives. There's no shame in it. We just got to understand, how do we control that side of us? How do we pull the house together again? How do we do that? If the house is divided and we know it can't stand, that means the foundation is probably in a situation of having cracks. And if that foundation of the house has cracks, it leads to other kind of situations, scenarios that could happen, right? The water could get in. And we have a flood. The roof may not be able to withstand heat. All kind of issues occur. And so the question this morning is, how do we put the house back together again? Richard Rohr, Linda, has something that he wrote that was very interesting. He talked about many of us are in a situation, a scenario, or living a life where we're homesick. Anybody ever been homesick? I mean, you ventured off somewhere and it was going to be a nice time, a great experience with somebody that was nice and everything. They're going to do everything you like. But all of a sudden, you realize during the trip away from your home base, you want to go home. I'm homesick. So Richard Rohr is telling us in that homesickness mindset, all of us crave, we have this desire to go back home. The home is not to go back to the things that we were doing yesterday. It's to go back to the foundational base that's not divided, one that's stable and firm, you can rely on. It's principle-based. It's truth-based. So how many of you are homesick? Throughout your life, you've found scenarios and situations where you've been homesick. You've ventured off too far from your center and you realize, I need to go back home. I'm homesick. And if you think about what we're talking about today, a house divided, that's all we're talking about. I'm homesick. And I want to go home because when I go home, I know there's good things awaiting me. This is like the prodigal son, right? The prodigal son said, Dad, give me all my inheritance right now, and I'm going to go out and do my thing. Anybody ever get in that mindset? I'm going to do my thing. Can we all just say, I'm going to do my thing? Kind of like that James Brown. I'm going to do my thing. And that's what we do. And so he took his inheritance and he went away. He drifted away so far, and then all of a sudden he got homesick. There he is in the mud, in the pigsty. And he's saying, I'm better than this. I came from a foundation, a family line that lets me know I'm better than this. I need to find my way back home. I need to put my house in order. And that's what this is about today. That house that's divided, that inner self that we're talking about, it's three branches to it. The three branches, the spiritual, can we say spiritual? The intellectual, and the material. The spiritual, the intellectual, and the material. Now, if you were to look at that, you'd understand that the intellectual is right in the middle of the material and the spiritual, right? That's the way we said it, right? You got the spiritual on top, the intellectual in the middle, and the material on the bottom. Why is the intellectual in the middle? Because the intellectual has the capacity to intellectualize anything it wants to rationalize anything it wants to. It can make you think the material is the way you need to be. You need to be out in the world doing worldly things. That don't necessarily project your highest self. Doesn't it? I'll do it just this time. This one time. Won't hurt a thing, right? I'll taste it this one time. I'll eat it this one time. I'll go with them this one time, and it won't hurt me. Oh, there it is. I got addicted to it. Got to have it. Got to have him. Got to have her. Got to do it. Whatever do it is for you. But right? All of a sudden, we intellectualize that. This time is not going to hurt. One more time is not going to hurt. If I do it this time, it won't bother me. See? And there we are in the material world. And if you're a girl, you're a material girl. Think about it. But then if that intellectual self that's taken in knowledge and wisdom decides that I'm going to stand up, I'm going to stand strong, I'm going to be committed, says I'm going to my highest self, then the spiritual foundation begins to pull you up instead of down into the material world. You understand what we're saying here? So you're always in a situation where you're living this three-pronged life. The battle of the inner self, the spirit, the intellect, and the material. Tussling, jostling against each other, pulling you back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm in the world. I'm of the world. No, I'm not of the world. I'm of the spirit. And that's what we constantly go through. I want to do better. I want to see better. I want to have better, but I have to do better consistently. That's the challenge. That's the opportunity this morning and every day that we come into existence. I want to do good, but I keep doing things that keep me from being my very best. That's what we started this message all about. And so what do I do when I do my very best? I clean out the cupboards. I clean out the car. Any place that I venture off that could provide a source to feed my habit. Clean it out. Clean out the cupboards. Clean out the house. It's a separation of church and state, right? What does that mean? We say it's a separation of church and state. What does it mean in our world of unity? If there's a separation of church and state, it means that my spirituality becomes before anything that I can experience in the state of mind that's being in the state of the world. Did you get that? Was that too quick for you? We got it? Well, good. Well, let's keep going, because that inner conflict is one of the things that weakens our foundation, particularly our spiritual foundation, and has us in this docile lifestyle. Can we say docile lifestyle? What's a docile lifestyle? Chilling. I'll take it as it comes. I'll let life do what it does. And when it does what it do, I'm all right with it. Same thing, different day, right? That's what we're saying. How you doing? Leslie, how you doing? All right. Same old, different day. But it's the same old scenario, and it shouldn't be that way, because your house is divided, but we're going to put the house together again this morning. Can we put it together? Now, there's something in John 10:10 that Jesus himself warned us about. He didn't think this was going to be new, what you're experiencing, but he said, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. What does the thief come to do? I have come that you may have and have it more abundantly to the full. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that you may have life and have it to the full. What is he doing? He's putting himself in a contrasting situation. He said, here I am, representing the Father, the Almighty, the Creator. You can choose me, or you can choose the world. What's your choice? But he says the thief. Who is the thief? We talk about this all the time. Everybody can recite this, but who is the thief? Huh? The ego. It's yourself. It's the root beer guy. It's the Pringles person. Well, it is. It's the fried food when you know you got high blood pressure. I ate the food, my ankle swole. Lord, how'd that happen? It's the pork chops and the hot sauce. The thief is our inner self, this inner battle with ourselves. The thief is the house divided, is the house that's leaning towards the world. But what does it do? It steals, kills, and destroys. What does it steal, kill, and destroy? Your joy, your spirit, your peace, potential prosperity, your health. Come on, give me some more. The real you, your dreams, your hopes, your ambition. How many of us are doing things that are inconsistent with the person that we want to manifest ourselves to be, to do, to have? And when we realize this, it's stealing from us, it's killing from us, it's destroying us. I have come that you may have life and have it to the full, more abundantly, more prosperously. So the choice becomes yours. But the choice requires one thing. If you are to go on a mission and you choose Christ as your leader, you have to enter into something that's called a relationship. Can we say relationship? And if you're going to enter into that relationship with Christ, you have to understand what a relationship is. And the question is, do you understand what a relationship is? Anybody know what a relationship is? It's a commitment. What else is it? A connection. Give and take. We don't give and take in a relationship that's spiritual in nature because there's rules, there's regulations, there's requirements, there's principles. When we say you're in a relationship, can I get this, Donnie? If you're in a relationship, look at that word, R-E. Can we say R-E? Re means what? Repetitive in nature. We don't compromise, right? It's just a re-up. Every second, minute, hour, day is just a re-up. We're not negotiating because it's based on principles and expectations, duties, responsibilities, relationship. So if we look at that word relationship, the the R-E, and then let's go to the E, elation. Elation. What does elation mean? What is elation supposed to bring me in a relationship? Happiness, joy, peace, love, right? And so we add that with the what's it supposed to be? It's supposed to be a repetitive nature of the love, the joy, the peace, the joy. It's repetitive. If you're not in that kind of relationship, it's a relationship. And so let's look at the last piece of that, ship. What does ship represent in that word? It represents journey. Life as a journey. So when we talk about this relationship as a whole, we're talking about the repetitive relation of a spirit of elevation, joy, love, peace, excitement. And we're going on this journey, relationship. And so when Jesus says you can choose the Christ, the God mind, the mastermind, or you can choose the world, the relationship that we're talking about is a relationship that's repetitive in nature, in the elevation of your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul. And all of your experiences are to be elevated to the highest level. And you're supposed to be elevated to your highest self. Are we getting it? Now we're going somewhere here. Now, if we're in this relationship and we know we're going to be elevated through this journey, only thing we have to do is what? Trust the word. Elevate our faith. That's all we have to do. What did I tell you a couple weeks ago? Everybody walking around talking about, I got mustard seed faith. Stop. Stop it. In the name of a higher love. Stop. Can everybody say stop? In the name of love. We can go higher in love and in our relationships. Thank you. So I want more out of each one of us than mustard seed size faith. Because if you got mustard seed size faith, you're going to get a mustard seed plant. Why would you want a mustard seed size plant when you can get a collard green? Or a rose bush. But that's the whole point. We don't want to continuously think small. If I just get by. We said we want to think bigger, better, greater, right? And that's where we are. We don't come here for that. And so then the next step is, if we go through this and we make a commitment to the relationship, what's next? What do you want me to do next? Charles Fillmore, in the Revealing Word, said something that I thought stuck with me. He says, get wisdom and get the consciousness of possession. Let's say that together. Get wisdom and get the consciousness of possession. This is it, y'all. This is it right here. Because if we get this, we got it. We're on track to the greatest life, our highest self. We got to get this. Get wisdom and get the consciousness of possession. Can we say that one more time? Get wisdom and get the consciousness of possession. Now, think about that. Let that marinate in your mind for a minute. What are you going to possess? What are you going to possess? What do you want to possess? That's significant enough for you to enter into this relationship with the expectation that I'm not turning back. I'm not going back. I'm not looking back. I'm moving forward. How many of us keep looking back? How many of us won't erase numbers from our cell phone that we shouldn't call that person ever again? Because ain't no reason we need to be calling them again. She said she wants to see if they call us and see it. They pop up on caller ID, and you say once they pop up on caller ID, you got a decision to make. But I'm afraid that if you have that number in your directory, when it pop up, you're going to say, ooh, I remember when. And once you get in that scenario of back down memory lane, it's a danger zone. Isn't it? When we start reminiscing on what we had, it's a bad case scenario. You know, if we start thinking about that, but I'm telling you, it's not the same as it used to be. Let me reassure you, it's not the same as it used to be. It won't taste the same. It won't feel the same. It won't be the same. So keep on moving forward. Can we just say, keep on moving forward? In football, we just say like this, first down. Keep moving forward. You can keep going. And so in this scenario, we're saying, what do you want to possess? And understand, possession does not mean material possessions. We're talking about spiritual qualities, blessings, attributes that will lead to us meeting ourselves as our higher selves, which is what we want. So this consciousness involves truth and spiritual principles. I am one with God. I am co-creating the life that I want. I am moving forward away from the world and all the worldly things that hold me back from being my very best self. It's an active energy that we do plug into. And when we plug into it, we have the right to turn it on, right? But you got to plug it in, right? You can have 50 million lamps in your house and you desire to have light in the darkness. But if you don't plug it into the source and turn it on, you just got 50,000 lamps. But you don't have any light. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand this, because a lot of us have knowledge, and people will say all the time, and I'm so irritated by it, knowledge is power. No, it's not. Knowledge is not power until you activate it. And so there's a lot of people walking around with random knowledge. They can look at the trivia games and answer questions and say, ooh, how did I know that? I'm so intelligent. And I'm sitting there sometimes watching TV. Leah and I watch those games sometimes, and we'll be up there like, ooh, I answered that. How did I know that? I must be Mensa. And so it is that we're not looking back. Remember Lot's wife? Golden opportunity. Move forward in the utopia. Only condition, you can't look back, you can't go back. What did she do? She looked back, and what happened to her? Turned into Morton salt. And so here it is. If you've ever been in a situation like me, or you're homesick. And you realize that there's something that you want that's better than you've experienced in your life, or better than you're experiencing. You say, I just want to go home. And home is that foundational base. And you just say, Lord, with my spoken word, make me a creator of heaven on earth. Lord, lift up my mind, my thoughts, my energy. Take me to a higher place of consciousness and super consciousness, where I have the confidence, the skill, the foundational base that's steady, that's firm. Bring my house back in order. Make me one with you. It's through that oneness that we come to know that all things are working for our good. And in every experience, in every season, it's just a lesson. And so my challenge for you this morning is to go inside. Challenge yourself to be creators of the harmony that leads to the heaven for you. Go back home. Go back to your foundational base and know that once your house is together, you know, alas, that I'm whole, I'm healed, and my heart is ready to be introduced to my highest self, my greatest self. Can we all stand and join me for an affirmation? I wish sometimes I could turn off the energy that I have, the enthusiasm I have for living, but I just can't. It's like this faucet. And I just get so energized by the thought of living at a higher and higher level. And so, man, my prayer time every day is like, Lord, just lift me up to a higher and higher level of consciousness, to a super consciousness level, where I can be, do, and have the best. Because see, I'm thinking if I'm at my best, I can help out everybody else at a higher level. So it's not just about me being my best. It's about me being able to give my best because I'm at my best. Let's say this affirmation. Repeat after me. I embrace my highest self. No, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand what we're going through right now, this affirmation right here. Let me do it. Can I do it like I do it in the morning with myself? In me time. I do have me time moments. I embrace my highest self and commit to giving my very best in all aspects of my life, aligned with divine abundance and wisdom. I am empowered to manifest the very best and my highest potential. where each and every step forward, I am guided by the light of truth that lives within me. I am whole. I am complete. And I claim my consciousness of possession, knowing that I possess the divine qualities of love, of peace, of abundance, of joy, and prosperity. I am on track to my divine destiny. Now look at somebody and say, I told you before. You don't know who you're looking at. You don't know how high I'm getting ready to soar. I dare you to come with me. No longer will a thief come in my house and kill, steal, or destroy. This is my life, and I'm going to be my highest self. And so it is. Amen. You may be seated.